Boom.
Piece it together.
I'm close. I'm on the trail.
Sorry.
I found something.
So
To ward off evil spirits.
yeah,
That's the
from
first.
deliberately causing one's performance to suffer. According to this theory, wishing someone good luck would be invoking the evil eye.
Ooh.
So good luck would actually cause bad luck for the actor.
So you would
Thus-
say break
thus
a leg.
meaning bad luck, which actually means good luck.
Okay.
Let's see.
Those artsy people.
The first documented instance of someone saying break a leg in terms of wishing them luck is October 1st, 1921.
So it wasn't even Shakespeare.
The New Statesman.
No, you're not. Like when I typed in drooling, there's a lot of things coming up.
Robert.
Stroke.
No, I'm gonna circle back around to this. I'm not letting it go. I'm gonna find out more, but
in
we don't
this
have to sit
first
here and talk about it.
instance, Robert Lind is talking about it being unlucky in horse racing to wish someone luck. So you say something insulting as "May you break your leg." He also mentions that the theater people are the second most superstitious group next to those involved in horse racing.
There you go. That's
There
good
you go.
enough for
That
me,
is
Ellie.
as simple as it-
I don't think there's any connection to drooling, spitting.
I'm not over it yet. I had to make some. Where did I come up with that? What was I hearing? I don't know. There's a weird parallel I'm
Drooling.
missing. Yeah, I don't really know.
Ellie.
Okay. Where are we at? We did ask for some questions today.
We did. Do we wanna dive into that?
Let's do some questions and see
Okay,
what happens.
hold on,
What
let
are you
me-
drinking? There's a mason jar. I love drinking
It's-
out of a mason jar, by
It's
the way.
coffee with, I think, I put a little too much cream in there. I got excited because I got some pumpkin spice creamer.
Ooh. It looks
hanging out
like
with
because
Tasia.
your glass there is green, it looks like I thought maybe you
Yeah,
brought
that's kind of
something
an odd.
organic or.
Yeah. Well, I forgot my bear complex thing at your house when we were there one time. So.
There you go.
Imagine that.
And it's like, I know,
Tasia
right?
forgot her other shoe. She's walking around in that boot.
Okay.
and
Yeah,
she
that's
leaves
what
her
she said.
One
She-
shoe.
Here we go, Ellie. You're up first. We need an Ellie suggested book list. Started
dear.
reading Life with Seal,
Ooh, I love Life with Seal.
and it's great.
Life with a seal.
Yeah, it's
Life with
so
a Seal.
good. It actually has workouts in there too. We should probably comb through there and see
Let's
if
hear
there's
your
any.
favorite books, Ellie.
Oh, my
on you.
favorite books.
Oh wow.
Oh,
The
dear.
people want to know an Ellie suggested book list.
Oh.
Is it
Well, you probably should work to
Books,
compile
like-
that.
Yeah.
reading books or like listening books? Does that count?
Yeah, because you don't read books. So
I
that's-
do read. Don't make it sound like I don't
didn't
read.
say
do
you
you
can't
know
read.
that I order every one that I listen to? I order the hard copy as well, so that I can.
Not
so you
feel
can follow,
guilty.
So you can follow along with your finger.
No,
As
I
you're
don't
driving?
Do that.
Like
I
in
don't
like
follow along.
second grade.
That used to make me so mad because my finger would go
Do you remember
faster.
popcorn reading? Did they have that back
Popcorn?
then?
No.
So you'd be
They didn't
reading
have
the
popcorn
book,
in my day.
And then you'd in the middle of
Yeah.
the sentence you could
Go
say
to someone
popcorn,
else in the
somebody else,
class.
and so you're like, don't call on me.
Don't
call
call
on me. Don't
on
call
Oh
on me.
no.
Anytime
man.
in class, I was like, don't call on me.
I used to have like the
liked
biggest stage fright. Like,
Really?
when it would come to reading in front of people. Oh,
Yeah.
It was
I liked
Anyone
it.
calling me out
awful.
for like
Imagine
any
that, you
answer
like
in the
attention.
class.
I do. How does that have to do with liking attention?
Just because you like reading doesn't mean you like getting called on and having to do it in front
Yeah,
of
but,
everyone.
I like
but we're
reading out
talking.
loud.
We're talking about Ellie, and of course you're gonna love that. It's the
Well-
stage.
We started from a really young age in school. You had to go up and read in front of everybody in church. You didn't really have a choice. If you got picked, you did it.
Did they call you Ellie or Eleanor in 4th grade?
Why would you even bring that up?
Well, I'm
Eleanor.
just curious. What did your
Why does everyone have to know my real name?
Or do they call you
I'm just
Ashley?
kidding. Yes.
Ashley?
No, they called me Ellie.
Ellie. You've always been Ellie.
Mhm.
That's a great name.
Did that start when you were a kid?
My nickname?
Yeah. Did your parents call you Eleanor, or did they call you?
The only person who calls me Eleanor is my big brother, and he says it. He does it out of spite.
I always get called Richard when I'm.
Well, your mom.
Yeah.
But
My
your mom
mom-
calls you Richie.
All my family calls me. All my mom's family calls me Richie.
Hmm.
I used
I
to
have heard of
hate
Richie a lot.
that.
Really?
Really?
Hate it. When I was a kid. Now
Okay.
I'm like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I'd fight you.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't call me Richie.
Call me Richie.
I was named after my grandmother. That's
Yeah.
why.
That's a great name. When I was in trouble, I was James because that's my real name. But then my friends all called me Jimmy.
Oh wow.
And as I got older, that really bothered me
Yeah.
because it
Jimmy?
made me feel like I was a little kid or something.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't bother me anymore.
Ted will call you
Yeah.
Jimmy every once in a while.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Everybody in sports calls me that
Jimmy.
now. Yeah, which I like.
I should ask the audience though, because I've never to date had anyone spell my name right, Eleanor, and I've asked.
How do you spell it?
Can't tell you. I'm gonna ask first to see if not one person in my lifetime have I said it's the 17th century spelling of my name. Not one person has ever done it correctly.
Wow.
Never.
Never in my life have I had said someone say I can spell it and spell it right.
I couldn't do it.
It's tricky. It'll trick you.
It'll
Are you
trick
rolling
you.
your eyes?
He's thinking about it.
no, I'm
But
not
it has
thinking
to
about
do
it.
with-
She just gives a spiel every time she talks about her name.
Oh, you're tuning
It
out.
has to do with your shortened version too, though, right? The way you spell it, or no?
No, I'm not giving any hints.
do
Anyway, a book list. Say next
Stand
week
by.
I'll bring a book list.
Okay,
Stand by.
stand by.
Yeah.
Where's Ted been?
We don't know.
Playing video games
He's
in the other
gone.
room now.
We can't make Ted work out. We couldn't make Ted work out when we were on the team. Now we can't make Ted. Now
Deja
there's
and I
another
got him
team.
too last week. Maybe it was the week before now.
Ted's retired. He
fun.
doesn't. He's moved on. His
He's
life.
still really fit.
His life of competitive fitness
you
Man.
is done. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
So
Yeah.
if
It's
you're
important that we
wondering,
tell the story because I've had several people on Instagram ask me about that.
It's already been.
It has been
kind
told.
of been
Yeah.
told,
Okay.
but not in depth, I guess. Ted just came up and said he couldn't handle the pressure anymore. Didn't want to do it. Didn't enjoy it.
Well, that's what happens when you go from like 0 to 8 hours a day with all the pressure in the universe. I mean,
Yeah.
it's no joke.
Yep. Said he didn't like it. Didn't enjoy it. So he was done.
But we appreciate his
happens.
time.
Yep.
It was
Appreciated
good.
his time.
It was good.
We were like, Ted, none of us enjoy the competing part of it. And then he was like, yeah, but I don't really enjoy the training part of it either. So, well, see you later.
See you later.
Ted is doing an internship at the gym.
Yep. He's shadowing Darren. I
Going
don't know
to
if that's a
school?
good thing or a bad thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good for his future or bad. I'm not sure.
He's finishing his degree. And let's see, I came in yesterday and he was FaceTiming with his sweet girlfriend.
What if
And
he's
he's
the
just-
next winningest coach in history?
Who's he coaching?
Ted.
Ted?
I don't know.
That'd be incredible. That would be outside of who I think he be. It'd be amazing.
That would be pretty crazy.
Ted is one of the coolest kids I've met in a long time. And
I love
and
Ted,
I
dude.
and I
Ted's
really
amazing.
like Ted.
Ted's a
He's
good dude.
authentic and honest
You
and
know what you're going to get?
Yep.
he knows how to have fun and it's good stuff.
Sometimes he tells you to take a step back and just really enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. You know what was the coolest thing he said about the whole competition experience though was he said that he got up there and trained and did it for you guys.
Right.
Like
Wow.
that
Yeah.
was his motivation was outside of self and outside of ego and he really did.
didn't want to do it for himself. Oh, man, there were some days where Ted was just checked out.
We just find him outside the bar
But
napping.
he would do whatever you tell him to, but
Yep.
he would try
Ted,
to get
get
out.
in here.
I think I'm going to go home today. No, Ted. No, you're not.
I gotta go to the bank. No, you don't.
Nope, Ted.
How many times can you go to the bank in 1 week, buddy?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to eat some food. All right, Ted, eat some food. Leaves. No,
Yeah.
I meant eat your food here.
Or grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or go to the
Okay.
library. He told me he was going to the library one time and he was down here at the gym
Liar.
studying for his
Hands
classes.
on
He's a
fire.
good dude.
He's a good dude.
So
To me, that was like one of the best storylines
Yeah.
of the year, though. I mean,
I would agree with that.
because it's crazy how fit he is. Can you imagine if he actually trained for a whole entire year
A whole
and
year
like
and,
was
like,
super
and
disciplined
actually
about
enjoyed
it?
it?
and-
Yeah. Well, I think a
Dude's
lot of it
fit.
too, like it's
Yeah.
like a lot of people don't have. I don't want to say that everyone doesn't have potential. Everyone, you have a capacity to make it to a certain
Mhm.
place.
You have an upper limit.
Yes, exactly. But his wasn't even like it was just amazing that we just, got Ted, whose upper limit wasn't even. I mean, it was games level athlete, which is incredible.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's just so good at listening too. He'll just do whatever you ask him to do.
Yeah.
He'll
Like
try.
so that's why he was like so great with the team. Is like you just like tell him where he's supposed to be, and then he just does it.
He's not going to do anything extra, but you tell him what to
Right.
do, and he'll do
He'll do it.
exactly what you tell him to.
Yeah.
And front bag every time on that word. Didn't complain once
Never
about
once.
that.
Never complained.
Darren, what an idiot.
Never switched.
Never
He
once
just
switched
Not
with
willing
Ted.
Really?
to.
no.
Would not
Seriously.
switch.
Never.
Oh, wow.
Ted took it every time.
And
Wow.
the front of the worm is
We
a
love you, Ted.
nightmare.
Yes, we
Wow. I think if you had to describe Ted, you could say he has a big heart.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
In,
For sure.
Not only in fitness, but in life.
Yeah.
And
I think there's something to be said too, though, especially in his situation. Like, a lot of times, like our ego gets in the way, and like you're concerned what other people are thinking, especially in like group environments. With Ted, like you could tell, like it was never in his mind. Like he didn't care what we thought or what we were thinking, looking
Right.
at his effort. It was just always 100% effort, which was
Yeah.
something I really appreciated about him. Is it wasn't like, well, I don't know if I can do this or I can't. He just went out and did it, and if
Yeah.
it was good enough, like there wasn't a
Yeah.
question. He just went as hard as he could, and it wasn't. A lot of people wouldn't push or risk because
Right.
they'd be afraid to fail and what it would look
Yeah,
like.
that's
It
huge.
never
Never crossed
that
his
never
mind.
was even part of his, and
He
that's
got
what
to
most
some
people
points,
fight.
like in the handstand push-ups,
Yeah.
I guess, where he was like, that's all I got. Emptied the tank.
And just like talk about just redlining every single workout, I feel like, because he was the most dramatic I've ever seen anyone be at the end of workouts constantly. And
Yeah.
I was like, Ted, reel it in.
Yeah.
But like
But
really,
he
he
would-
was just
but he
going
would-
max effort.
Or when
So
he
I should've
started,
been a
and you
little
would be
easier on
like,
him.
"Nah, dude, don't.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Time out.
Yeah.
We got 8 more rounds.
Yeah.
Chill out."
Yep.
You talk about outside ego. You have access and you give the team all the best gear on the planet. Brand new shoes, several pairs,
Thank you.
lots of shorts,
Yes.
lots of stuff. I mean, there's just all kinds of gear. And he has all this at his disposal, and he's showing up in his old shoes.
The jankiest stuff ever.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was never, what I'm saying, it's never about ego for
No.
him. He didn't really care about
No.
all that
But
stuff.
he did love the gear, but he would never, like, he'd show up in fours that looked like
So
he mowed
funny,
the
and then
lawn.
people,
Holy
and then
shorts for a
people think
while.
he's like not getting anything.
Not
He's
being
like, oh, he's
taken
just
care of.
saving it or
I was
something.
giving him
Yeah.
stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're giving him
that
new
cracked me up.
hats. Here's a cool new hat. And he shows
yeah.
up in that goofy old hat, just like
showed up with a sun hat, and I was like, "No, Ted, you're gonna wear one of these hats." And then throws the other hats on the ground. It's like, "Oh, this petty stuff. Get this out of here." Didn't even put it back in my truck after he'd done looking at him. Just throws them on the ground.
Here's the best part for me. When we were having a conversation and after he decided not to do this, he came back and said, "I've realized that it's not in who I be. This idea of compete is not in who I be." And when I watched, and he talked about you guys, it's born in you, and it's something that you love to do every day, and it has to come out of you. And he said, "I had this dream of going to the CrossFit Games with no experience, this dream. And now that I've done it, and I have the experience from it, I don't want to do that every day. I don't."
Which is
don't-
so
So crazy.
Thank
crazy.
goodness
Like,
he was willing to give it just
I
one
know.
shot, because otherwise we would have been.
it's so hard for us to relate to that. Like, that's so not relatable. Like,
But how profound is that for a kid
I
like
get
that
you.
to really
No,
recognize that's not born inside
Yeah.
me?
no, I
can
get
do
that.
it.
Yeah.
I can be in a position to where I can compete, and he can, and he proved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not pouring out of me.
Which is amazing.
I don't need to do that every
Yeah.
day. Where you guys all need to do that
Yeah.
every day.
That's incredible.
I agree with that to some extent, but I also think that he just doesn't want to sacrifice. He doesn't want to work hard. on
Yeah,
that. Like,
for sure.
So I see part of that, but part of it's kind of, to me, is like he's looking for the easy way out.
Yeah. There's his
It's
mature.
not probably going to be nobody's probably going to like that comment, but to me, that's
No, but
what it
it's
looks
objective. It's
Yeah.
important that you're honest about that
like.
stuff.
I mean, I love Ted and
Yep.
and thankful for what he's done, but I think it's kind of a
Yeah.
cop out. It's kind of an easy taking the easy road when
Yeah.
you could take the harder road, and that's part of who we are and who
Yep.
he's not.
Yep.
It's like we want to go
Yeah.
at stuff like that. We want challenges. He doesn't want challenges.
Yeah. And he talked about that, and I think that was accurate. And the conversation you had with him that he relayed, where you said, "Look, this is this window of opportunity."
Yep.
And then I tried to come to him and talk to him
I was
about
never once like you have like I was just like Ted. I'll support you in whatever you want to do.
right.
I personally I believe that you should keep at this and at least give it another year or two.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to learn more from
Yeah.
going. I think you're looking for an easy way out. And
Yeah.
and I was like, I love you and I appreciate all that you've done,
Right.
but I think you're making a big mistake. And so
I told him if it's that you just want to do something else with your life, then you should do exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
If you're copping out and you're looking for the easy road, you're making a giant mistake.
Yeah.
And if you ever think you want to compete again, you're making a giant mistake.
Mhm.
This is the moment.
the moment.
And it's right here in front of you, and half the world would
Yeah.
crawl on their hands and knees to get
Yeah.
here for this
Yeah.
opportunity, and this happened for you. So I mean I agree with what you're
Yeah.
saying. He's young.
Yeah,
And
he's
so there
young.
was a lot of
Yeah. He's never been pushed, never had any type of challenge in his life.
right.
Parents pay for stuff. Like
Yeah.
not like I said, I'm not dogging Ted.
No,
like
I
I
got
love
it.
Ted and he's done a great job. I'm just playing devil's advocate to
Right.
that hey, like,
Yeah.
you gotta run at some challenges every once in a while and
Yeah.
that's how we grow as people.
It's really, really instructive. Like if for people that were around and we're talking to, that's a huge life lesson. It's really good. I mean, it played out right in front of
Yeah.
our face,
Yep.
and is an amazing story.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's something to learn from it for sure.
Next,
Where's
next
Ted?
question.
Oh, that was where's Ted?
there's
Yeah,
Ted.
that was
Yeah.
where's Ted.
That took about 10 minutes to explain where Ted is. That's accurate
it.
for most of the time.
Yeah.
What keeps you going when you feel like you can't go on anymore in a workout?
Oh man. For me personally, I always talk about my faith and how that motivates me and how I feel like the talents that I've been given were my gift, and my gift back is to tell as many people about them as I can. But I also now having kids, watching the things that Lakeland does now, without me telling her. Like yesterday she walks up, she's got her bike, and she says, I want to take these training wheels off. Cool, let's try it. So I take them off, and literally all I did was give her a little push, and she was riding around in the barn without training wheels on the first try. And so it's stuff like that she's not afraid to go out and try stuff, or like climbing the rope. She'll climb 10, 12 feet up that rope
Yeah,
now.
she's like 3/4 of the way up
like
there
with
now.
her feet, like she just
No shoes.
that. And so like the things that you don't think about that you're doing, that she picks up on or Trice picks up on. That's the cool stuff that keeps me going now, especially in workouts. Is like, all right, are my kids watching? What am I showing my kids? And that's been pretty cool in the last couple of years to see that. But yeah, Lakeland, man, yesterday was awesome.
Isn't that a cool thought, though? Like, think about, like, how many days of your life that you actually won't remember the details of. And almost every single person you ask, it's an iconic question, when did you learn how to ride a bike? You just went through a day in her life and your life that undoubtedly you and her will remember for the rest of her entire, like, that's a huge moment.
It's true.
Like, that's, like,
It was awesome.
incredible.
Yeah, and then 5 minutes later, she's like, hey, let's take these tassels off. I was like,
It's a whole
let's
new
do it.
bike.
And then she
was
took
funny.
the tassels off, and then 5 minutes later, she's like, hey,
Take the tassels
let's take
off.
this, like, it was like there's a carriage on the back of the bike because it's a princess bike. She's like, let's take this off. I was like, you're right. Less drag. Let's take that. And so now it's like a fully functional bike. But just to see, I mean, it's what the cool thing is those Strider bikes that have no pedals, and so they get used to the balance thing.
Yeah, that.
And so, I mean, literally,
Like a
like, there
charm.
was no, like, struggle. There was no anything. Like, the only struggle she had was making sure the pedals were on top when she started to get going. That was the only, and she hasn't quite mastered the brakes thing yet. She just kind of puts her feet down and
First, just
stuff.
like going straight into
Yeah.
like soft boxes and
Yeah.
stuff.
But, man, it's been awesome. And I put the seat down to where her feet can
Right.
touch if she needs to. But, man, it was impressive to just see, like, there was no learning curve whatsoever. It was just,
Yeah.
she going.
Well, let's talk about this environment. So you have you who's like, Daddy, take my training wheels off. Okay. Takes the training wheels, snips the things, and then Jim walks in and goes, let's make an obstacle course. Like,
Yeah.
all right, Lakeland, can I come in and build a ramp with piranhas underneath it next for you? Like, it's
She
just
crushed it too. She
loves
slalom
it.
it.
She
No.
loves, and she loves that though. She loves challenges, and so that's
Yeah.
what's the thing that goes back to with the workouts is I think she sees what we do and what all you guys do, and especially girls too, is she sees other girls that she can. It's
Yep.
okay to do that stuff. Like
Yep.
she doesn't, and I'm not knocking Hillary at all, but Hillary doesn't do that stuff.
Right.
But Lakeland's not afraid to. Like she's like, let's
Yeah.
do it because she sees all you guys do it, and she's,
It's so funny because her face tells you in many ways
about to
right where
happen.
where she's at.
Oh, yeah.
And when I set that little slalom course up, she came around and her eyes narrowed, and she got that little gritty look on her face, and then she was in it.
Yep.
And she's intense.
And the whole rest of the time too, like when there were like 6 or 8 people working out too
She's
yesterday.
weaving and-
she didn't run into a single person.
and
the
wasn't
entire
really
time.
in the way at all.
No.
And so I was like, and
was
like
good.
we'd be pushing
Yeah.
sled, and she'd go, "Oh, sorry," and she'd like pedal off
sorry.
faster.
I walked in front of her like 5 times accidentally. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, Lakeland, and she just like kind of was like
Maneuvered.
slow and
Yep.
still balancing, and then just go
Gone.
on the
That-
other way.
That's my favorite
cool.
picture of you and her of all time is the one where you guys are about to race something out of your
Oh, yeah,
garage.
yeah.
And like the look on her face is so
Intense.
fierce.
Oh, everything's a race now.
It was like, it was just so indicative of her personality. And that's before she could speak.
like,
you know?
yeah, like yesterday.
was little.
Or since we've been back from the games, everything's like, Dad, let's race, let's do this. And so yesterday we were walking back up to the house, and she goes, let's not race. And I was like, okay. And then we got close to the house. She's like, race. I was like, it's her. Yeah, so
Setting herself up for success.
Yeah.
she's awesome.
All right, Cam, what's next?
All right. How have you seen God's hand in your sports career?
I think I kind of touched on that before
Yeah.
earlier. It was just kind of that. I feel like those are the what I have physically is my gift, and my gift back is to tell as many people as I can about it and about my faith. Personally,
I know, I mean, I've just a huge one in my life was if you would have asked me 4 years ago if I would ever leave Florida under any circumstance, I would have said no. Like, I had really strong family ties, business, everything there was like my long-term plan. And then Kyle got this business opportunity for us to move. And obviously I prayed about it, and I was like, wow, like, I mean, if this is your will, okay, but I don't know what this is going to be like. So his job opportunity was anywhere between, we could move anywhere between Atlanta and Nashville. So, of course, I Google CrossFit gyms, and I see Rich's gym. And the crazy thing is I like competed individually in CrossFit before that, but I didn't follow it like hardcore. Like I didn't know who like where to be close to like the best athletes would be. Like I didn't know where you lived, you know? In about 3 or 4 months before that, someone had walked into the gym and was like, "Hey, Ellie, Rich is going team this year. You should move to his hometown and go try to be on the team." And I was like, "Hey, that's hilarious. I'm never leaving Florida," you know? And then when I Googled it and I saw his gym and I moved here, like, I mean, the rest was like, this place has changed me as a person, like mentally, physically, emotionally. Like it was just like what he's done in my life. It's so funny because people are, I mean, just the trust, like it's so true. Like, you know, like trust in the Lord. Like I would have never in my wildest dreams ever thought that moving here would be the best thing to ever happen to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's pretty incredible. It gives me goosebumps talking about, like, I'm thankful for it every single day.
You know,
Awesome.
I can talk about like moving here and being in a bad situation at Tennessee Tech and being involved with the staff that wasn't doing what's right. And then walking around the block and literally talking to God and what in the hell am I doing in Cookeville, Tennessee? Why am I here? Why did you bring me this goofy little town? You know, that's kind of what I was angry and mad about my environment, what was going on, and then to have it grow into what it is now, like to kind of have a knowing in my
Step
heart,
back and look,
Yeah.
like, oh, you ended up in the right place.
Maybe there was a
It was
plan to it.
exactly what was supposed to have happened.
And it takes time, too. I mean, I
does.
cried every day for, I don't know, maybe like it was probably a year. I'm not even kidding. And I would say, God, why am I here? Show me why I'm here. What is this? You know, it was really hard. But then it was like, oh, I figured it out.
I think sometimes like people think that when, you know, we're not religious people. When I say rules, we're not rulesy without relationships. We really do think about it in terms of a real relationship with somebody who we talk to.
Yeah.
It's not some mystical thing in our lives, and it's just a foundational piece of everything that we're doing, who we are, what we're trying to get accomplished. We're not perfect.
No.
I ain't screwing it up all the time and saying I'm sorry,
But that's why you have faith.
but that's
Right.
it.
That's why you have it, because you know you need it.
I don't need all these big giant answers. I don't need to know big giant philosophical answers. I think that there's a God and that He cares and He designed us with a reason. And when I showed up here and you guys were actually living that in your life and working hard and aiming at that, it ended up being something that ended up being powerful in my life perfectly. And it's crazy now that the mindset stuff is, and I'm having a chance to really get to communicate. I mean, it's crazy, the platform.
Mm-hmm.
We're communicating people all over the world
That's cool.
that are excited about the faith piece too.
Right.
Not just the CrossFit piece, but
Well, yeah, I mean,
the values
like
piece.
like we said, is, you know, are you being 100% of God, who God created you to be? And that's,
Yeah.
you know, that's what I think the program can definitely help with. People that believe in that, and then people who don't believe in that, I still think there's a benefit to it. So
Yeah. What's cool is whether there's a God or not, for me, is I'm still going to live these values.
right,
Period. I happen to think there is a God, but I'm still going to live this way.
right,
I'm still going to get up and work hard. Still going to take care of my family. Still going to include fitness in my life. And so there's always something instructive
right.
when you look at something and people who are successful. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm next.
Will Mayhem Freedom compete in Dubai?
We were going to, but I don't think we're going to now. I was gone for 10 days in Europe, and I can't do another 10-day trip, especially in December, because my wife will kill me because it's Christmas time.
And because you have like 14 Christmas trees to put up. So that's
We got a lot of
It'll take you a
Christmas trees
little
to put
while.
up.
2 a week to get up or something.
Yeah, I don't know. We were talking about doing Wadapalooza, but if it's not a sanctioned
Yeah.
event, I'm not sure if we'll be doing Wadapalooza.
Yeah.
Well, where are you going to go next then? What's
I don't
this?
know. We
They've
gotta
only
look.
announced other
four.
and they're all outside the United States, I believe.
One is Mid-Atlantic. We could look in that
Oh,
one.
okay.
Look into that one.
Cool.
I would like to do the earliest one as we can and get it done with personally.
So there's no regionals.
No regionals.
There is an open, but there's no regionals.
Yeah, but teams
Don't
can't
compete
qualify
really.
in the open. I
open.
don't know if we'll probably
Do the
still
open,
have
yeah.
to do the open, I'm sure, but I don't know. That'll be another episode.
To be determined.
TBD.
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 All right. Let's see. All right. Who decides your programming and what moves do you hate doing?
Who does the programming?
Oh, Rich. I like how you always go, hey, what do you guys want to do? Nah, you're on it. You got it. Thank you.
I ask movements.
You do.
I take recommend. I'm not like
and when you write
Sorry,
it out there,
I'm
you're
saying
like,
it. I
that's
meant
just what
it.
I was thinking. I mean, you guys can change it if you want to, and you're like, no, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like,
I actually
obviously
meant
gonna
that
be
as a
good
compliment because I felt bad. Like this week, I actually took a step back and I was like, I hope you know how much we appreciate you programming for us, because we all literally sit there and like, yeah, you ask our opinion, what hurts this and that, but like you sit up there and do all of that work, and I know that's a lot of work. So thank you.
I enjoy
It's,
doing that.
You know,
But I mean, I don't feel like you guys input on like.
Yeah.
I'm not just like, hey, we're doing this. You have to do this. It's kind of
Right.
like, hey, what have we done? What time domains do we need to hit? And
Yeah.
then I kind of bully the marker from
4
there.
rounds of
And
that workout this week.
That's
4
well. That's what's
rounds.
cool though, is like with the like super
Haven't gotten over it.
somewhat of an overwhelming workout, and like the next day I'm thinking, Tasia and I were talking about, we're like, well, at least like when you get smashed one day, like the next day you kind of like, if something was really bad, you could be like, you know, I don't really think I could do this today.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like you could honestly say that, and you'd be like, okay, we'll
won't
do
do
something
that, yeah.
different. So
What was that workout you guys
I mean,
did?
I probably won't say that.
Not yesterday, the day before. I have not ever seen one like that.
It was 3 peg boards into, and you have to look at it from back because then you can, why the numbers kind of make sense.
Yeah,
But it's
kind of
3 peg boards into 15 strict handstand into 6 power snatch at 185, 125 for you guys,
Yes.
into 12 muscle ups, into 12 deadlifts at 365. That was a little excessive. into a
255 for us, I
into a 90-foot handstand walk, and then we did rounds back and forth. So it goes three pegboards, 6 snatches, 9 handstand, 90-foot handstand walk. So 369 there, and then 15. 3
Kinda
6
goes-
12.
It
Sorry,
was supposed to go
3 6 12.
369, but then 9 deadlifts wasn't enough. So
It would have been. It would have been sufficient.
just fine.
The weight should have been 315 probably, but yeah, it was supposed to go 369 on that, and then 15 12.
We got better
9
that
Yeah.
day for
on the,
sure.
And you did 4 rounds of that.
Yeah, we were gonna do 3 rounds, and I was
Yeah.
like, we might as well do 4. It was awful.
Rich
But-
asked
Oh, my
Kristen. She
God.
had it. The
We
yeah,
also-
the
well,
baton.
no, I was the one person that wasn't working, so Rich is like 3 or 4 rounds, and I'm like, I can't be that person that says 3. I can't do
we did
it.
4.
That's hilarious.
That's like last week when we did
set
that.
you up.
Tasia.
We did that legless. We did 2 legless
Yeah.
into
Jeez.
8 burpee box step overs with deadlifts
That one
into
was-
16 cal
was
bike
hard.
rounds back and forth. And so
That was
we
funny.
get into like 3rd or 4th round, and I'm like, Tasia, what do you think? And she's like, I guess 5 or 6. And then 5th round hit hard, and I was like, all right, let's do 5. And Tasia is in the middle of her 5th round. She goes, are we doing 5 or 6? And I was like, well, if you asked, we have to do 6. And
That
so we
was
did 6. That
horrible.
workout was awful.
That was
I felt a
horrible.
little throw uppy after
Yeah,
that.
for
A little
sure.
pukey.
I definitely felt throw up after
That
that.
bike this morning was awful too.
That was really
Yeah,
tough.
that was
workout.
That was a
really
great
tough.
workout.
That's right before we did that second workout. I was like, man, I don't know if like I'm
ready.
hungry.
Yeah, I
and,
know,
like,
right?
I
My
gave that
sick,
workout my
my-
all too, so I was like, I don't know. And then luckily it was kind of like a little lower key.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was good.
Tasia cracks me up because when she gets around you and you guys, because this is the 3rd or 4th time this has happened,
Oh yeah, every time.
where you're asking her and that competitive part of her comes out and she really wants to be like, she wants to one up you.
Yeah, always. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why I.
And then so you have to smash her, and then it just runs downhill, and everybody gets
Yeah.
crushed.
But
you
she
know?
also said too, she's like, I knew I couldn't fall off too much on that workout because she's like, then Rich is just gonna get
More
faster
rest.
and more,
Right,
you
there's
know. So she's
less
like,
ti-
I gotta like,
Yeah, that workout
Stay
was
fast.
awful.
I was like literally 4 rounds would have been plenty for me.
4 rounds was sufficient.
And then we went to 5, and I was thinking, okay, look, if you can just hang in there, scale it, just, stay on your feet. And then you went to 6.
yeah, poor Jim.
And I
just coming
seriously-
back to fitness.
I wanted to hang in there. I was like, now that was
Yeah.
total peer influence at that point. I was
Yeah.
like, I do not want to
Peer
stop.
pressure.
I've never stopped,
Peer pressure will do it to you.
but I was not all right when that got done. I was having trouble breathing.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What's next, Kristen?
How's your training schedule differed now that you have 3 littles?
Oh man, didn't really change a ton last year. The last couple of years has been hard, just because, not hard. It's been better that if I miss something, I'm not as stressed about it. Like I can hang with the kids and do that. Like my mind's not always on fitness. Where when I was an individual and didn't have Lakeland, like that's literally all I thought about. Like I still think about fitness a lot, but it's not my main priority and my main goal when I wake up. And then this off season, we've kind of starting a little bit later, but we'll do like secret workouts so we can't tell you about. But we'll share some like interval stuff that we all kind of do on our own, and that's been good because I don't want to like tell these guys that we're training at a certain time and then like the kids wake up late or early or something like that. And so we just kind of do our own interval in the morning, and then we all meet around 11 or 12 and we work out 2 times in the afternoon. That's been kind of good lately.
I do like doing like the kind of cardio piece in the morning because it's kind of like wakes you
Wakes
up
you
and like
up, gets the soreness out.
heart rate is already like
yeah.
jacked up, so at least you don't have to worry about that. Feeling that
Yeah.
for the first time later in the day.
Yeah, and so with that, I can kind of move the time around that I'm going to do that workout. So it's been good. You know, like if the kids get up early, I'll do it earlier. If the kids get up later, I'll do it later. Like right before, like yesterday, we finished the workout as these guys were showing up to the barn at 11. So that was fine. So I think we may stick with that. It's been kind of good to do that.
Trice he's bigger now.
Trice
He can
man.
walk.
Trice man, yeah.
So he can be out in the barn.
Yeah, he's out in the barn hanging
That's
out
cool.
and just into everything. The Tricenado, yeah, he's
That's good.
he's a mess. Yeah, it'll be
That's a
good when
good one.
Violet can start moving around too, and you
I
know.
feel like she's gonna. When we were watching her the other day, she was like kind of crawling around
She's
already.
trying to
she
crawl. She like
wants
army.
to move.
She
She's-
army crawls and she just watches the other two. And but I mean, yeah, it's harder when they can move, but it's easier. So like Lakeland, I mean, she can come here and ride her bike and hang out, and you know she's getting to the age where she can do all that stuff. Trice the same way. Now that he's walking around, you don't have to like,
Yeah.
you know, well, you're gonna sit here, and if they start crying or whatever, now he'll like go. As long as he's not dangerous, he can go
Right.
explore and do his own thing. As long as every once in a while you'll hear him just yell, ah,
Yeah.
so you know where he's at.
You were
like,
doing those burpees the day, then going over the box,
Yeah.
and he was like
wanted
he
to
was
be
so
right there.
wanted to
right
be
under
yeah.
you. And we had to keep picking him up and
Yep.
moving him out of the way, and he's just happy standing there, bouncing,
He's a
talking.
Dude, man, he's
so
fun.
funny.
It's cool to have him out there now, and like I said, I love having Lakeland out there. So now having 2 of them, you know, they're there, and they don't really get in the way that much. And you know, every once in a while when Trice gets kind of fussy or Lakeland gets fussy, there's but they're kids.
It's cool to get to grow up in that environment because they're not. Neither of them are afraid.
No.
You know, when the barbell's hitting the ground, no one's
Oh, yeah,
running
they
and
don't
scared.
even, like-
and,
Yeah.
Violet was out in the barn for the first time the other day and heard a barbell drop, and she cried.
yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
breaking her in.
it'll be different. What you got there, Monk?
There she
Speak of
is.
the devil.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got those for when you work out? You want to put those on your hands? Oh, okay. Very well. Thanks, buddy.
Done.
Oh, wow.
Good
Get
stuff.
some grips.
Good work.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Later, dude. Oh,
Later.
catch that
Oh,
door.
here.
Careful.
Ooh, almost popped that window.
Breaks
Yahoo.
everything.
Cam, what's next?
Rich, what strength program do you follow?
Oh, man. I have actually this last probably year and a half, I've concentrated a lot less on my strength. I've built a pretty decent base over the years. And so I haven't been doing a ton of strength work. We've just been kind of adding moderate to heavy weight in workouts. And I mean, I snatched 290 at the game, so turns out CrossFit works all right. But yeah, I mean, this last year and a half, especially since, like I said, I tore my meniscus, I've got to be a little bit more careful on some of that stuff. And this is the least amount of strength work that I've done, and I felt relatively strong. I mean, we do a lot of moderate,
Yeah.
heavy stuff, so it's not like we're not hitting barbell stuff, but I don't know. What do you
Agreed.
guys think about this I mean, it was obviously a little bit different this last year, but it turned out all right.
It turned out okay.
Turned out all right.
I've gotten fitter every year for 4 years, and we've done different things every
Every year,
time,
yep.
and it's
There you go.
Still
Beauty of
working,
CrossFit.
so-
Constantly varied.
yep,
Functional movements, high intensity.
crazy.
What is the best way to increase front rack mobility, especially the shoulders?
Oh, man. Unfortunately and fortunately, I've never really had a ton of problems with mobility, and so I've never really had to work on it. I mean, Kelly Starrett has a ton of stuff out there. I mean, I feel like you
Yeah.
go on any YouTube
Yeah.
now, any Instagram page, there's all kinds of that
There's
stuff.
so much.
I don't know. Is that something you had to work on?
Yep.
Is it?
Yep.
What'd you do?
Absolutely. And just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just lots of reps.
Lots of reps. Yeah, I mean, that's probably your best option. I mean, when you can actually teach your body to do, the right thing while you're doing that specific movement, is where you're going to get better versus tying a band and racking it up. And,
Yeah.
as long as you're active, or when you're active, you're actually creating that movement and movement pattern. So
Mobility is something I had to, because I'm coming at this late, it's CrossFit late, it's something I had to really work at. And so I figured out the 5 or 6, 8 things that I want to
Yeah.
do,
right.
and then I do them.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Awesome. How did Rich get knowledge about programming? How did you learn how to program?
A lot of error. I would say trial and error, but mostly a lot of error. This is going on 10 years. I mean,
Wow.
in July, I'll have done CrossFit for 10 years.
That's amazing.
I'm so old. And
Can't say that when I'm here.
no, I mean, look, having an exercise science background definitely helps with that.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, a lot of trial and error. I've learned more in those 10 years, obviously, than I did in years of books. I mean, when you literally use your body as the example or the experiment, then you learn a lot of things. You learn what works, what doesn't work. And I mean, we're still learning. We learned the other day that 365 deadlifts at the end of a workout, probably
hard.
not the greatest idea. So, I mean,
Slightly aggressive.
and so that's what's kind of cool about, we have the What's Rich Doing, and then we have the Compete. And so a lot of the times we'll take some stuff that we've done in What's Rich Doing and armchair quarterback it and say, all right, well, that was stupid. Let's change this and make it. And we get better workouts that way. So
Yeah.
that's been fun to do, having those different programs that we're programming now. And that's been good.
I think like anyone that's become successful at something always says they just jumped in, didn't really know what they're doing,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we just kind of figured it out along the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty accurate. Steal stuff from other people. If it
Yeah.
works, it works. If it doesn't work,
That's
it
what's so
doesn't
cool
work.
about CrossFit too. If you really don't know what you're doing, you can just
find
there's so
somebody.
many
Yeah.
resources for free online that
Yeah.
you can just look up.
Yep.
What's your go-to meal during long training days with multiple sessions?
Go-to training meal.
Ellie,
Like
what's your
during
go-to
the day?
meal? Yeah.
Or like, what do you mean?
During
like the end
long
of the day?
training, I don't know. During long training days. So I'm assuming like
What's just
between
a
sessions.
go-to meal?
Well, I haven't done a very good job the last year, like preparing during the day. Like you guys come super prepared, and I just always went and ate a bagel sandwich.
Go to Poets, eat a bagel
Was
sandwich.
really-
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A
yeah.
number 7.
Yeah.
That's always a solid answer.
Yeah.
That is.
No, I've actually, the last couple, I've been experimenting with some of the trifecta stuff. I took some of that flat iron steak. I know you don't like steak.
I'm offended.
I know you don't
Walk
believe
out.
you don't believe in cows, but so I take the flat iron steak and like cut it out. Use scissors, just cut it up into smaller pieces or like strips. Throw it in the pan with some grapeseed oil, and then throw some eggs in there
Yum.
Ooh.
with it. Make it a little stir fry or a little
Sounds
stir
so
up,
good.
and then I'll actually butter some bread and actually toast it. I'll use an electric fry pan. Toast 2 pieces of bread, and then whole wheat, of course, whole grain. And then I'll put that on the plate, and then put the eggs and steak, and then throw some. Man, have you had what's that salsa? Crap.
I just get pace.
No, you got to try this stuff. It's a company out of Michigan. It's like you got to get it in the deli, and I've only found it at Kroger's. Jack's Special.
Yeah. Oh
Jack's
man, that
Special
stuff is
salsa.
good. I use that for breakfast every
Holy,
morning.
You gotta
Good.
try
Yeah.
it out. It's like
like a
fresh.
chunkier,
It's like
right?
fresh cut.
It's
like
so
Yeah.
good with eggs too.
It's
For some reason, I use it
so good.
every
Pico de
morning.
Gallo a little
Yeah.
more.
Jack's
than,
Special salsa.
All right, I'll get
Oh,
look
it's
it up.
so good.
It's awesome.
Can I get it at Kroger's?
You can get it at
You
Kroger's
get in the deli.
in the
Okay.
deli. It's amazing.
You should get it at Publix.
I was gonna say,
in the
don't make
deli,
me have
but
to go to
Whatever.
Publix.
I don't know.
It's
Does
fine.
Publix have it?
It does. I go there every day. Golly.
Which, by the way, I just went to the grocery store this morning, and weekday mornings, if you haven't done it, game changer.
What was that?
Weekday mornings to the grocery store, no one's there.
No one's there.
No one's there.
What was it called again, Jack's?
Jack's Special, and
It's good.
There's a. I'll look up the brand. It's like.
I can't remember the name of the
Yeah.
brand either.
They have like 4 or 5 different ones. Jack's is the best though.
All right, I wrote it down.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
really
get it because I eat like eggs and avocado with some sort of salsa
Oh, it's
mixed
the
into
best
it almost
kind. You'll
every day.
never change after that.
Ooh, right on. I'm excited now.
That's legit.
Chef Rich?
I might
That's
even-
Chef
there.
Rich, I know. Good call. That sounds fabulous,
It's
actually.
delicious.
You just have plain toast, or you put something on that?
There's butter. Butter.
Oh,
like
nice.
I'll butter. Like so, what I do is I'll take like, so the frying pan's already warmed up, and I'll just cut off a little piece of butter, and I'll put it underneath the bread so it melts as it's cooking the
Oh,
bread.
smart.
Do the same thing on the other
Jeez.
side. It's
Who
so
knew?
good. It's
It's
delicious.
outstanding.
Yeah.
I might even go to Publix to get some of that.
There you go.
You can also
I
that
have to.
trifecta, man, because we have a bunch of that meat.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
we just
yeah.
get the meat, and I'll do the same with chicken or or steak or the tuna.
You
if
made that
want.
one day when I was up at your house.
It's good, right?
I had
Really
it. Yeah,
And
it was
you
really
just,
good.
Like do the same thing with the tortilla. You kind of butter it, and
we did
then
it on
turn
tortilla.
it. Man, it's just like a little
Yum.
burrito.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
There you
Right
go,
on.
trifecta. There you go.
Silver, here's one for you.
Oh, okay.
Did Silver start at Boulder when he played? If so, when was he there?
I started at the University of Colorado in Boulder in 1987.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a long time ago.
Garden Fresh Gourmet is the
Garden
brand.
Fresh.
Oh, hold
This
on.
is Jack's special
Oh,
salsa.
it's so good. Jack's is the best too. They have a couple different
Okay.
kinds. Jack's is the best.
I got it.
Everybody, try it out.
All right.
And we'll be calling them later.
Yeah, Jack, if you want to sponsor the podcast,
Yeah.
We'll
the
talk
chips are
about you
pretty
every
good,
week.
But man, their salsa's legit.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. I'm in.
I'm in. I'm down.
Rich, what type of bow do you use?
Hoyt
Ooh.
RX1.
Just got a brand new bow.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I just got it set up. I haven't really shot it that much yet, but the last two bows, I had a Carbon Spider before this one I really liked, and then Hoyt hooked me up with another bow, and this thing is bad.
Looks good. It's all
It's
black.
All black
Bad.
with red.
Red.
It's really
And you're going hunting here.
going elk hunting in Heron, Montana at the end of October. But we're going rifle. We're gonna go.
Okay.
We're gonna use rifle. That one of my buddies that I grew up with. It's his last hoorah before having kid,
Yeah.
and so we're gonna head out for a week and be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I've
Be
never,
blessed.
except for after watching that grizzly bear video that
Wow.
whoever was that sent that in this
Oh,
morning.
gosh.
Holy cow!
Wow.
That is
Terrifying.
goodness.
What was that on? You remember? So everybody can look up how aggressive.
That
I don't
was
remember
like-
what it was. You have to
Why
look
did
it
it go
up.
straight for the tripod
It
too? I
just-
mean, like mouth
Did you see,
open.
you saw the video, right, Kristen?
No, I was setting all this
Oh,
stuff
man,
up, so I
hold
missed
on.
it.
They were
Serious.
releasing this bear back into the wild, and then it
After
came
being
out of the
like
trailer.
tranquilized or something?
I don't know. They must have been
It's
taking care of it,
on-
relocating it or something.
It's on Nature's Metal.
Comes
mean,
out of a
it's-
trailer and
Everybody
just
look
like
that up. It's so it's so
full-
aggressive. Like it's
Straight for the tripod. I mean, it is
comes
like
out of the trailer, hangs a hard left, and just charges the
serious
tripod.
as a heart
mauls-
attack. I
Mauls
mean-
this tripod.
Like there's no way you're getting
just
away.
no
It's
joke.
terrifying, right?
Oh my gosh.
Sure. I don't know where you got those M&Ms, but you can have a couple.
Someone's secret stash. Yeah.
People.
People.
What are they feeding your kid?
M&Ms.
M&M's.
Probably gonna get hate mail for that.
Right.
I can't believe you'd give your child all those
Sugar.
artificial colors and
I'm not going to bring it up on this podcast.
there's red
but
40 in them.
Do you want to know what happens when you have it? Because that blue dye too. It's Zeb. Blame Zeb. He sent me a list. 11 food ingredients banned in the U.S. And all those colors are on them. And
They're
I
not
could
banned in the U.S.
They actually
Sorry,
ban-
they're banned
I was
in
gonna say they actually banned them in the
overseas.
U.S. That
I was
doesn't
like,
sound right.
Yeah.
No, I wish they were
M&Ms are illegal. Wait.
It's
banned
freedom.
outside
Freedom. We
the
believe in
US.
freedom
That's
here. If
right.
you want
Yeah.
to poison your body, you poison your body.
You want to eat an
Exactly.
M&M? You eat an M&M. Next question.
This is an interesting one. If you could be any of your teammates, who would you be?
Oh wow. That's a goofy
That
question.
is a goofy question.
I don't know.
Like current, or where we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In life, like
Let's
CrossFit,
make
like,
it bigger. If you could be anybody else, would you be anybody else?
Wait, make the stipulation you have to be
Yeah.
somebody
Oh,
else.
Yeah.
because I wouldn't be
Yeah.
anybody
No, I wouldn't be
else.
anybody else.
Right.
All right, if you had to be
Had
somebody
to be
else.
somebody else, who would you be?
Wow. Okay, this is a good question. I like this question. Who would I be? Okay. I like Peyton Manning.
Yeah, but he's retired now, so you're not even playing. So did you get to like experience those
Yeah,
years?
yeah, I would-
Is this
I
like
don't
a
know if,
direct,
like the whole life, or
is this like a direct switch?
Oh yeah.
Or is this like
I don't want
a-
to switch now.
Okay,
No, but I mean, if I could live a life,
Dale Earnhardt,
yeah, that'd be cool.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just picking like.
If you could have been anybody else.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going.
I don't know, maybe
Or-
it'd been cool to be George Washington or
Yeah,
I don't know.
George,
some-
man, the more and more I read that book,
Yeah.
a lot of, I mean, obviously the dude was way, like way bigger, but I got a lot of parallels with that guy, like mentality wise.
Yeah.
The more and more I read, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Who
Yeah,
else?
Barry Sanders would be a cool one.
Yeah. That's
That's a hard que- I
That's a
have
really
no
hard
idea.
question because you kind of have to
That's
get obviously
tough.
into kind of fantasy land. but-
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to look at like we're talking sports figure, we're
Right.
talking business, we're talking.
Right.
Both.
You know,
I mean,
something.
if you look at sports figure and business, Dale Earnhardt's
Yeah.
the dude knew what he was doing.
You know what I wish I could do that I can't do is sing.
Singing.
Yeah.
I
would be
really
awesome.
legitimately thought I wish I could have been
Wish
a
I could
good
play
musician.
guitar.
So if you
Yeah.
could be a cool singer,
That'd be fun.
I just don't have the patience, I don't think, to learn.
Yeah.
I tried to like Greg Lucius tried to teach me in high school one time. And I
Did
was
he?
like one night, and I was like, I can't do this.
to be able to open your mouth and have it sound good
Yeah,
and to
that'd
be
be pretty
on key, and that would be
Takes
cool.
a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah, for
I can't
sure.
do any of that. I sound horrible.
Yeah.
You gotta practice it like anything
So
else.
maybe you want to be
I-
like
I've been
Timberlake,
trying.
like Justin Timberlake. Is that who you want to be?
Silver, you want to be Timberlake?
I don't know. You know who? No, like if I had to pick a singer, who would that be? I like Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw.
He's cool. Justin Timberlake did a song with
Chris Stapleton. Awesome, yeah.
That was
So good.
Really?
one of the coolest live performances. It was
CMA or CMT.
Yeah, it wasn't Tennessee Whiskey, but it was the other one.
It was. They
I
did
Can't
one
Drink
of,
You
they,
Away.
They did one of
Oh,
Timberlake's
yeah.
songs, and they did one
Yeah,
of
one of his songs.
Stapleton's songs. Yeah.
Timberlake can sing now.
Oh, he's good.
He's an
Oh,
addicted.
yeah.
He's,
I mean,
he's a
he's
performer.
talented.
Yeah.
Been to a lot of his concerts.
Oh, have you?
Well, when it was in sync.
Oh, that's hilarious. What about you?
Yeah. What about you two?
What about you two?
I don't know. I don't
Look,
know.
we just threw a bunch of stuff out
I mean,
there.
if we're thinking outside of like sports, I would think like
know.
musician, as in like someone who like plays like an instrument, like Yo-Yo Ma or something like that.
Who's that?
I don't know who that is.
Who are you talking
He's
about?
a cellist.
Oh, he's
Oh.
a cellist.
Yeah,
she's like,
classical music.
Wow.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's
It'd be
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
And then you can do it your whole
But what
life.
about sports?
Oh,
Let's go shallow here.
sports.
We're going to.
Um,
You're too.
I thought we were going like anything.
You can be anything,
You
but
can't.
I'm saying
No, that was really cool.
you can be anything.
Jim, what was
But
that?
you can be anything, but not
Not
that.
that.
Oh, stop making me look
I
stupid,
can't
all
think
right?
of like.
I know, right?
I guess when I was like younger.
I want to be Beethoven, not the dog. Sorry.
I guess when I was younger, I was really into what was the girl Carrie Strug that like
Oh,
broke her
yeah.
ankle and still
The
did the.
gymnast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I can't think of like specifics, but I think it's awesome whenever anyone's gone to like the Olympics or something like that. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's
I don't know.
cool. I agree with that.
Nothing
I
else?
know.
I don't know. My brain's like, I don't know. It's so weird.
You have one of the most vivid imaginations of anybody I know.
Yeah.
and you
So
can't think of
yesterday,
anybody.
were you there? You weren't there at this point. She goes, if you could have unlimited anything in the world,
Supply of.
if you could have an unlimited supply of anything on this
Ask
planet,
her for-
I am. If you could have an unlimited supply of anything on this planet, what would it be?
Money.
What? How is that not?
Hear that?
How is that not the answer? She's like, that is
Yes, I
what?
do.
She's like,
That's not creative.
Yeah, I was like, it's the most creative. I can be the most
I
creative.
was just flabbergasted
I was like,
because I was
$100
waiting for
bills?
like,
Yeah, maybe you should say like gold because what if like money goes,
Okay.
Actual money goes out.
Currency.
But yeah,
Something
exactly.
to spend.
I
But
just
still.
was like really waiting for something
What was
profound.
your thing, Ellie?
That
like,
is
answer
profound.
something.
So profound.
And I resigned to say, you're correct. Well done.
Wow.
She
but
was
it took
so
20
distraught.
minutes
I don't
know,
of
because
frustration.
What did you think you want? Like, what would you have unlimited supply of?
It was because
I don't
those
know.
Advocare OTGs showed up again yesterday,
Oh,
and they
okay.
were like, "Well, you got an unlimited supply of those,
Yeah.
and blah blah blah." And,
It's a drink. It's a sports drink.
Sports drink, yeah. And so,
That's
What?
funny.
Pixie dust? What?
No, I mean it's good.
it's shallow, but it's some like
and you can give it.
mean,
all,
you
you
can
can help
give it,
people.
you can
can
create,
you
you
can
can
be
do-
comfortable. Like
Yeah.
you
Like
can
every
use it
morning
to be
you
more
woke up and
creative.
there was a
like yes, as I
truck
thought
of
about
money.
it more,
$100 bills.
it
Right.
made sense.
Here you
I
go.
get
Just
it.
walk down the street.
Changes.
It was a game changer after I thought it through. At first, I was I'm
so
picturing
good.
the duck in DuckTales, the guy that jumps into the money and just
The
like
guy.
swims
Oh,
through the
yeah.
duck.
Uncle Scrooge.
Yeah. Mick Scrooge.
Was that his name?
Uncle Scrooge.
Golly,
that was
That was
hilarious.
unbelievable.
I just can't believe that you struggled for like 15 minutes to be
That
okay
would
with
hurt,
the
by
answer.
the way.
It would really hurt.
Yeah.
Like the
Swimming-
coins,
wouldn't.
diving into coins. Like,
It's not gonna
Yeah,
end well.
that's not all right.
Schwap.
Yeah, why is that a thing?
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Duckburg.
I've got a lot of
You got-
questions to rethink in my
Probably
life
got
this week.
one, maybe two more.
Okay. Home CrossFit gym on a $3,000 budget. What equipment?
Ooh,
And go.
That's a good one. I would need some.
It's kind of tough to just like think about it without having the.
Let's come back to that. That's one we
Okay.
could actually like. All right,
Yeah.
on Rogue's site. Here you go.
Yeah.
This is
Cool.
This is
We're
what
gonna
I would
come
do.
back to that one.
We'll
Let's
come
do
back
that
to
for
that
next
one.
week. Let's have that.
Cool.
Write that down.
I'll screenshot. You
I
got
got
it?
it.
You're writing it down?
I got
Awesome.
it.
That's a good question.
Sweet.
So we each need a book
Crunchy or
list.
smooth peanut butter?
Ooh.
We're going deep here.
Man, the so there's
Know where I'm at with that.
it's Peter Pan Simply Ground,
Yeah.
and it's it's creamy with a bit of crunch is what it's called, and it's perfect.
The one with
And-
honey.
and
Really?
honey
I don't
in
think I've
it.
ever had that one.
Really?
He introduced that one, and it's
Yeah.
amazing.
So
yeah.
good. I've got some at the house. I just
All
bought
right.
some last night. It's
I'm on
Peter
board with
Pan
that.
Take a little
Simply Ground.
Just like little bits of.
It's little bits of
Yeah.
peanut butter,
It's
like
just
not
a-
like hurt
it's
your
good.
teeth. You know, like
Yeah.
every once in a while you get crunchy. Where you're
You're
like,
like
okay,
6 in your
my
gum,
No,
and you're
it's-
like,
yeah, no, this is like.
It's a little more natural
Have you had it?
tasting.
Well, this
so
afternoon
good.
we'll go to the barn.
All right.
And I'll get some. It's.
We
right.
have this is.
But you can only find it at certain places. Like Food Line up here has it.
Like
Kroger's.
Publix? Publix?
I'm going to boycott Publix actually,
Absolutely.
just because
Why
of
would you do that?
Yeah.
That's so mean.
Unless Publix is going to sponsor this podcast, I'm not going to Publix.
It was started in Florida. I'm going to bring the. Yep, we're about to be sponsored by Publix, and you're going to have to wear a big P on your shirt.
I
Did you
will
ever
wear a
go?
Publix.
Yep.
No,
Did you go?
I'm not going.
And then
I
you're
told her I
only
would
gonna
go
be able
one
to
more
shop
time if
there.
she would take me there.
and wasn't there supposed to be like someone's gonna like treat you right or like you're crazy?
Oh, some manager. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did get a. Somebody reached out.
Treat you right.
Somebody reached out, right? About.
Some guy said it was 9 years.
Yeah.
with
Well,
That's what
Publix.
it was.
There you go.
I'm going to the
I'm not
CEO
going.
of Publix,
I
and we're
mean,
getting a
and
Publix
And we can bring
sponsorship.
stuff and test it, and
Let's
we
do
can
that.
we can do a
Guys, I'm
blind
so
we can do a blind taste test on like Kroger Deli versus Publix Deli.
There's not even a question.
Let's open it
Sushi
up.
included.
Kroger, if anybody works at Kroger,
No, and
get us
it's
hooked
got,
up.
you got to include meat.
Let's do it. We'll do a Kroger
Sorry,
show
and fish.
and a
Meat
Publix
fish.
show. We'll bring in stuff. We'll
Oh,
put somebody
man.
on the show from one of their.
Publix,
But we
Publix,
almost need like a
Publix.
blind taste test, so I can be like,
Yeah.
all right, I like this one
I
better.
like that
the-
too. That's a great idea. If you're out there, set it up.
No, we're making this happen.
But the question was about peanut butter.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yes. Simply ground peanut
Oh, yeah,
Peter
yeah.
Pan,
See, I feel like that would be good.
creamy with a bit of crunch.
If they made it
that's
organic,
mine.
it
That's
would
my
be the
go-to.
best.
Oh,
No.
Because by taste,
I'm
it's
leaving.
actually good.
In our home, my wife and I agree on this 100%. And you're not allowed to vary from this. We use Jif, just regular creamy.
yeah,
Wow.
Dad.
And I know it's not good
That's
for
my-
you.
that's
I
what my
understand
dad
I just
that.
don't
does
like the taste.
God, I
honestly.
love that stuff.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna change your world.
I'll
It
try
is,
it.
and silver,
try
and
it.
I'm like a peanut butter connoisseur. I love peanut butter.
I'll try it.
You know, in my baby book, it says my favorite toy as an infant.
Was a peanut
Yes,
butter
it-
dog toy, like the one where you put the peanut butter in the ball and you eat it out? That's Ellie's toy.
A Kong? What do they call it? A
Really?
Kong?
Yeah. That's Ellie's childhood toy.
Jeez.
A poor little kid just in there like,
Man. We need to do questions from the audience more often.
Yeah,
This is probably the
I
most
like
fun I've
this.
had on a podcast, honestly.
Seriously.
How awesome would that actually be, though? Buy a new Kong.
I may
Put
try it
peanut
with
butter
I
in
may
it,
try it with
give it
Trice.
to your kid.
I may try it with Trice.
Oh my
Tries to walk around with that all day
All day
long, trying to
long.
dig peanut butter
All
out of
day
it.
long.
it was a spoon with a scoop of peanut butter. My dad would just scoop it and hand it over.
A
but
silver spoon.
That's a gold
a gold
spoon,
spoon.
Oh,
remember?
my bad.
not
my
a
bad.
Kong.
Last question.
Gosh.
Okay. I feel like this is a good one for Jim.
Silly.
Which mindset is better for a competitive athlete? Hating to lose or loving to win?
I have an answer that I think.
Yeah, go.
I think hating to lose, because if you love to win, then you're a douche.
Well, you're a proof of concept of that too.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
hate to lose.
Yeah. I don't know.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
I don't
I get
like.
it.
You know, I feel like you're arrogant almost. You could say either way that hating to lose makes you arrogant. Because obviously I got ripped apart for being not smiling.
I don't think I've really ever been around anybody who was a high performer competitor that the love to win thing was the dominant driver.
Right.
It was always, man, I am competitive
But
and I
I
hate
hate
to
losing.
lose.
Yeah.
And that would be, I think that's what you would see more. I don't think either of them are wrong.
No.
They're wrong, but I don't ever.
See where you could be seen more as conceited though, if
Right.
you love to win. And like I see like cocky people like that
Right.
are like, you know,
Yeah.
and I don't mind trash talk
Yeah.
except for when it's over. And then it's like, all right,
Right, right.
let's shut it down. Like while you're doing it, whatever. Right? The trash
Right.
talk's part of it, but like the cocky, that I don't enjoy that.
Yeah. I think for sure for your motivation was to do your best
Yeah.
and to go as hard as you could possibly go, and hating not to do
Hating,
your best
yeah.
and perform poorly and
Right.
not get in that space where you know you were doing your best.
Right.
And I think that probably errs on the side of hating.
To lose.
I know for sure in my life I didn't accomplish what you accomplished athletically, but man, I told the story. I can remember jumping up and down on my glove playing shortstop because something got past me because I hated to fail.
Oh, yeah,
you
hated
know.
that.
I mean,
Hate that feeling. There's just like pit of your stomach.
Right.
Like I screwed up. I let everybody down.
right.
Yep.
So I'm thinking.
For sure.
Awesome.
Cool.
Is that it?
That's it. We're at 101.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe we should do that again.
Yeah. That was, and we could even do it further ahead too and get.
Almost.
Questions from the audience.
Questions from the audience. I like
Episode, what was
it.
it?
49-ish.
Yeah.
We
Or
think.
maybe 47
Hey,
still.
we're gonna have 50 coming up.
Ooh.
Episode 50.
Ooh.
It's like a
We got to
milestone
do
or
something
something.
special for episode 50.
Yeah.
The silver,
Solution.
because 50 is silver,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's the silver. I said Filber.
Filber.
That's not what
Silver
I
or
meant.
Filber.
Silber.
The Filber podcast.
Silver. All right. CrossFitMayhem.com. CrossFitMayhemmindset.com as well. These new athlete shirts will be out
Looks
today,
so
but this will probably be
good.
2 weeks after
Yeah.
this. So if we have any left,
Yeah.
go for
Good
it.
luck.
I think we have the breast cancer awareness shirts that we're rolling out,
Yeah.
and the portion of those will go to somebody helping somebody out with breast cancer. We got a Halloween shirt in the works coming out as well. Dre's working on
It's
that.
gonna be awesome.
What else we got? Anything else? Did I leave anything out?
I don't think
Looking
Sounds
for
about
another
right.
enrollment coming up soon.
November 1st.
November 1st.
November
Yeah.
1st will be open enrollment
Open
for the
enrollment.
next.
And we're gonna take how many?
Well, we're not going to limit it this time.
Okay.
Once we get done with the test group,
Yep.
we'll open it up for everybody, and we won't limit it at all. So
And then it's gonna shut. It will.
yeah, we're
It'll-
gonna.
it'll
It's
just
just
be
close
limited
after a
time,
week
right?
just a
or
month.
something.
We're gonna do just a month.
Just a month.
It's been so overwhelming that we're gonna open it up for a month, and then close it, and then run another group of people through, and then probably around the first of the year
Do another one.
go another wave. So
it's going to be awesome.
good stuff.
Awesome. Peace.